All right. Hi, everybody. It's Ashley and Ashley with Essential Chaos 1001 Albums to Listen to Before You Die.
Hi.
Tonight is going to be a little bit different. We are not doing an album tonight. We have Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill coming up in a couple of weeks. We are going to do some listening for that. But tonight we thought we would do something a little different. So we have our pop punk aficionado with us who, but based on her suggestion, tonight we are creating a pop punk summer playlist because, and I think you coined this one.
The Warp Tour is starting this weekend, so that is
Is
kind of like the perfect start for summer. We're not going to the Warp Tour,
no
unfortunately.
sad, sad
Sad,
face.
sad, sad. That's mostly because I didn't want to just jump on it and then no bands that I liked are going to be there.
Simple Plan,
But
I think, is
it's
playing this weekend.
yes. Now I know what bands are playing there,
Well,
but you had to
now we
buy tickets.
know.
You had to buy tickets before knowing the bands. I don't like that.
I know. I need to like tease me a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, but pop punk is for summer.
Pop punk
So
is for
pop
summer.
punk is for summer, and that is primarily, I want to say, is the Warp Tour's fault. The Warp
Big
Tour
time.
kind of put it into our heads, and then bands started making songs, I want to say, for the Warp Tour, kind of. So it just kind of became this summer staple. You listen to all the bands you were gonna go see at the Warp Tour, and then pop punk just kind of became linked to summertime.
It definitely did, and I'm just
And
so sad we
it's
didn't get
been
tickets to any of the
yes,
the
yes.
shows. But
And it's been gross out, so I kind of really want that summertime feel right now. Like
I
I'm
think it's
craving it.
time. Like it's June. We're from New England, so as everyone is joining our various platforms, we are on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes.
Let us know what pop punk songs make your summer playlist because we are going to create a giant Spotify playlist, possibly Apple Music as well. I'm still trying to figure out that platform. And we are going to create the ultimate pop punk playlist for summertime because we're in June and it's time to start summer. No more of this
Yes.
this rain, snow nightmare we've been
What
dealing
is
with.
what is that brand new lyric? I need the smell of summer. I need its noises in my ear.
You're ready with the AIM messages like on
Yes,
lock.
yes. No, but when I was just I want summer. That just that was prime. I mean that song doesn't make me think of summer, but that one lyric that
The
is
one
the mood
lyric.
right. Like come on.
No, it's definitely time. So when you talk about like your pop punk playlist, what is like the number one song that you have to have?
Blink-182 The Rock Show. And that's
That's
actually
such a
how
good
it
one.
starts because that song I think when we were talking about rules for this playlist, even though there are no really rules, we can put whatever the heck we want on it.
Sure.
The rules for this playlist are it has to be in the umbrella of pop punk,
Yeah.
um, and it has to have a song that makes you feel like summer. We don't just want to pick any pop punk band and just throw it on there. It has to be a song that makes you feel like summer. And Blink-182 The Rock Show makes me think of summer. It makes me think of summer as a teenager being angsty, getting into trouble. It's one of those songs that obviously the whole lyric in it, I couldn't wait for the summer and the Warp Tour. And not to mention as a girl who used to go to a lot of punk shows and rock shows, and that was my song. When you're getting amped up to get ready for a show, I blasted a rock show even if I wasn't going to see Blink-182.
Oh heck yeah. That was like the song of the summer for a while too, and
Oh yeah.
still
That
rings
video
true.
that video was fun too when they're throwing money around and stuff. That album kind of disappears for me a lot. It's definitely not making the list probably, but it's one of those things where that song is iconic from it.
That song definitely is. And Blink 182 is a classic band. I'm in the middle of Fahrenheit 182 from Mark Hoppus right now, where he just
Hmm.
covered like how they got onto the Warp Tour. And,
Yeah, yeah.
it was really humbling because sometimes they had like an 11 a.m. slot, or sometimes they had like the 6 p.m. slot where, you know, everybody had a chance to spotlight. It was no like this band is better than the other. So
Yeah.
that was a great time for music. And I'm really glad that the Warp Tour came back, even though there were like, what, 4 cities
Yes. Did you ever go to Warp Tour, by the way?
once upon a time. It feels like so many moons ago, but I can still smell like stale beer and sweat.
Yes.
It
I
just stays with
think
you.
from '02 to 2014, I went every summer to multiple shows.
I had to beg to go because my parents were like, "What? You want to go to a rock concert? No, I want
Yeah.
to. I want to have an experience at a
Yes.
concert."
So the first one I went to was actually at the Brockton Fairgrounds,
That's where mine
which
was.
was yeah in '02
Yeah.
with Good Charlotte.
Yes.
Yes, yes. When we were
So much
leaving, we
fun.
actually saw Benji riding around on his
I
dirt
am
bike. It was
jealous.
yes, yes. It was from afar. It was like the love of my life. But I went to that one, the one that was at Gillette Stadium, the first one that they did at Gillette. I think it was the only one they did at Gillette, all the way until when they started doing it at the Comcast Center, Xfinity Center, Tweeter Center,
Whatever it's called. It's still Great Woods
whatever
to
it's called.
me.
Yeah, it's still Great Woods. 100% is that or the Tweeter Center. Like
Tweeter
I'll be
Center,
like,
yeah.
the Tweeter Center. In fact, I have like old tickets that say the Tweeter Center. Yeah, but like until it was in that parking lot, that's where it was primarily in here. And I've gone and seen it in like New York and New Jersey, Connecticut, like all over the place. So like it kind of became like this summer staple where like even if you saw it in Boston, the band that you if you missed the band that you wanted to see because it was first thing and you couldn't get in,
Mhm.
you knew you could probably see them at another date because they were jumping around and stuff and going to that big inflatable like time slot thing. Like it was like a big inflatable thing, and you like now you could just take a photo of it with your phone and know it, but like you had to
Oh
like go
yeah.
back and
But
check to
you
see
were
what band.
juggling like what time do I
Yeah,
need to be here, run back around. Like could you
one of
imagine if
my
we had
friends had a Sharpie
Fitbits?
and we wrote
Oh,
times
that's smart.
on our friend's arms with a Sharpie. Like I think it was like I think one year was like FOB Fallout Boy was at like 12. We wrote 12. We wrote all the bands we wanted to see on our arm.
Could you imagine if we had like the time management skills back then that we do now to like
Oh man, it would have
plan
been
ahead?
genius.
That's so convenient.
Genius.
I
Yes.
appreciate the modern technology, but at the same time, so I just went to my first concert of the year, not of the year, but for summer this past Friday. It was Jack's Mannequin, and it was my first Jack's Mannequin show, which, by the way, Holiday from Real belongs on this playlist because that is an absolute summer song. The artwork for that album should be the title for my pop punk playlist because Walking Down the
Yes.
California Boardwalk, that is a summertime song. So
Yes.
Holiday from Real belongs on this list, and I did everything I could to not cry during this concert. Um, I forget where I was
I
going with
think
this
I
whole
kept
thing, but
texting you, don't cry, don't
I did not
cry.
cry until I drove home. But now that we talk about kicking off, the summertime concerts, I'm like, what else really belongs on this list? So when you talk about Warped Tour, I appreciated concerts back then because I don't like being on my phone during these events because I want to be in it. Because when I used to go when I was younger, we didn't have, the iPhones or the Androids that we do
No.
now to really, pick up and watch through the lens. It's I couldn't I want to be in it. I want to
Yeah.
experience what's happening around me. This was the first concert I've gone to in a very long time where I was like, I need to capture everything. And I found myself really only taking like 30-second clips of the songs because I didn't want to be on my
Like
phone so
miss out on the
much.
moment. Yeah.
I was not missing out on that moment. I was there for it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like even if we tried being in the crowd, it was hard. Even if we had phones, they probably would have got broken.
A hundred
Like,
percent.
I mean, I know that I had like an iPhone and oh my god, a Sidekick. That was big when I was at Warped Tour. But like those were like big, like either big or tiny, like because depending on what kind you had, like, and even that was like hard because you didn't have reception wherever it was because there were too many phones, so you couldn't like you had to like it kind of forced you to live in the moment basically.
That's a good thing, right? And like it's time to bring
Yeah.
it back to us. So I hope that anybody attending, I think it's Warped Tour DC this weekend, that you are
Yes.
going and you get to enjoy the music, you get to enjoy the time, and be free.
I'm jealous of the technology they're having now though. Like they have like a phone screensaver where like you can like put a barcode so if you lose your phone, they can like find a way to find you.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? Like where was
Where was that when we were kids?
yeah, like seriously so jealous. But now like you can't bring like full backpacks in and stuff. So like we were we had friends who like used to bring like their like obviously the like skateboards in because like
Well, Vans Warped Tour, everybody was a skater
yeah,
gang.
like uh Warped Tour was summertime.
It was
I miss
summertime.
there's not there's I chase the feeling that I used to get just counting down the days to go see Warped Tour. That was just a high that you'll never just
We can
can
still count
manufacture.
down the days to our next concert. I think our next one
Which
is The Offspring, Newfound Glory, and Jimmy Eat World, but that's not until July, right?
yeah, and that's kind of Warped Tour.
It's Warped Tour adjacent. So
Yes, and it's at the Tweeter
it's at
Center.
the Tweeter Center. So as you guys are jumping in chat, let us know what is the number one song that makes your pop punk playlist because we are going to
Yes,
compile that into Spotify and Apple Music so we can share that out to the world. So
yes.
please throw that in chat for us. Let us know what's number one on your pop punk playlist. I just mentioned Holiday from Real from Jack's Mannequin, but also, and this was a big one, I think, Ocean's Avenue from Yellowcard.
Oh, that song just makes me think of summer.
You hear the
Yeah.
strumming right in the beginning, and I think that's an
Oh,
like unmistakable song.
sleeping all day, staying up all night. Like that's the
That was
epitome
summer.
of teenage summer. Like you stay up until the sun comes up and then you just sleep.
Yeah, sleep till noon, wake up,
Yeah, like
go to the beach.
that was summer. Like you would just like listen to freaking ridiculous music with your friends, hang out, do stupid crap, probably get in trouble, but it was harmless fun. It wasn't
I mean, we didn't
like
do anything
bad.
too
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. I mean, and like that was it. Like just harmless summer fun of like summer crushes, falling in love, like but also like just falling in love with summer basically like
Yes,
the freedom that summer gave you and like that song is the epitome of that like
absolutely. The whole Ocean Avenue album is a no skip album for me. I want to see that make our
yes
long term 1001 list.
yes
But Yellow Card can do no wrong, and they have new
yes
music that's coming out, or they have Better Days and Honestly
they're
and
going on tour with the Day to Remember, which I think is kind of weird.
I think that could be interesting. It's definitely
the,
two
the
different
crowds
pieces, but
the crowds would be definitely the crowds are going to be different.
is it a co-headlining tour? Is anybody in chat? You
Yes,
guys want to see
yes,
a Day to Remember Yellow Card on this tour? Let us know in chat.
yes. I feel like that's going to be two different types of groups of people.
Definitely. Well, you know what? Yellow Card just did a tour last year, the Summer Gods tour with Third Eye Blind. And
That was all that's also
it
different
was
like
so different. And it was funny because I love both bands. They are so different in vein, right? But we get there and you kind of expect to hear like the classic Yellow Card things. There are people with signs for like Empty Apartment, Way Away, and they played a lot of stuff off some of the albums that you really don't know, like Lift a Sail and their self-titled album. And it's like, and I love all these albums. I have them all. But it was great to hear some of like the B-side stuff that you don't usually get at a classic Yellow Card album or Yellow Card show. And
yeah.
then, Third Eye Blind comes in with all their big stuff, and Stephen Jenkins is always amazing.
Yeah.
We love him.
I think the good thing about this playlist is a lot of the songs can come from albums that like I think we were talking about like don't have like a great album to kind of go by.
For
It's
sure.
not it's not like an album that would make your list, but the song just kind of gives you that like summer feel. And to me, that is the Atari's the cover of A Boys of Summer.
100%.
Because like I feel like it's a cover because I think we've had this conversation before about how like are are like covers considered like a new kind of take on it and stuff, but like the Atari's Boys of Summer kind of they make it their own. They kind of like it just makes you feel like summer. Obviously, it's the Boys of Summer, but like the way they updated it for like that kind of our generation, which is now a completely older generation, but the way they updated it from when we were younger, it just made us feel like this song was written for us.
Oh,
Like,
definitely. I mean, it's always wonderful when you can take because Boys of Summer, Don Henley, not
yes,
Eagles, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
Don
I
Henley.
have to double check on this one. I'm not great in the 80s.
You're like, ask Ashley. She knows
Double
everything
check.
about
Well,
the
I
Eagles.
know when it comes time for the Eagles, that's also a strong point for you. So
Yes,
you have
yes.
a classic Don Henley song. My mom always loved him. It gets updated in the best way possible. And we have other albums, or not albums, we have other bands that have sampled things. I mean, if you talk about Newfound Glory again, and from
Glory
the
of
screen
Love.
to Glory of Love, oh my God, you have all these amazing songs that have been updated for us to come back into the pop punk vein. So, that's another one. But if you're talking about the Ataris, also in this diary is another great one for summer.
Oh, it is.
I write you
Yes.
visions of my summer. It was the best I ever
Yes.
had. I mean, you're talking lyrically, this is just
Oh,
one of the best things.
I haven't thought of that song in so long. I was so like stuck on Boys of Summer that I didn't even
Oh,
think of in this. Oh, after the stream, I'm gonna have to go listen to that.
we have to
That
listen to In This Diary. Like that has to
oh,
make the
that has
list.
to make it. But like, if we had to pick one, what would it be? Boys of Summer or In This Diary?
It's a playlist. I can add as many as I want.
Do we want to have a million songs from the same band though? Because then like half of like Good Charlotte's discography is gonna be on this
But
playlist.
it's a playlist. I'm gonna play it in the
Okay, yeah,
car, and it's gonna
yeah,
run for a couple hours. I need variety, but I also
yeah.
need like the bands
We
that
got
I
to
love.
separate them then. They
I
have to
mean,
be
I'm not putting
separated.
the whole Atari's album on there, but if I can pick the Boys of
Ah,
Summer
and
and In This Diary, and In This Diary, um, it's something I always do in like birthday cards. I always write "Being grown up isn't half as fun as growing up." I don't even remember
oh,
what that's. Yeah, that's In This Diary, right?
Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
this diary. Oh man, that's not.
you
I
know,
just got like a wave of nostalgia that just came
it
over me.
happens.
I'm
It's
pretty
so
sure that wasn't a
good.
way message.
It might have been.
Oh man, this
Like,
is why we do this. This is
it's
why we do
100% why we do
this.
this. So again, drop in chat. Do you, first of all, if you have a preference on this Atari's conversation we're having, would you vote for In This Diary or, um, oh help me, Adult Candy,
The
The
boys of
Boys of
summer.
Summer? If you had to pick one over the other to go on a playlist, which would you pick, or another Atari song altogether?
Or you
Oh,
can tag the Ataris and get
tag
them
the
to kind
Ataris and
of
get them to come
what
in.
one they think is their best summer song.
We have a vote for In This Diary. Danny, good to see you jumping back with us. We love In This Diary.
Okay, so I know we just talked about Jax, but
Love
I'm
Jax.
going to give you a something corporate song that definitely has to be on this playlist. And originally I had Punk Rock Princess on the playlist, but then I took it off. I took it off
You took
because
a Punk Rock Princess?
but I put on I Woke Up in a Car.
Oh, that's such a good
Because
one.
that right there I feel like sounds like I used to drive to different Warp Tours and go on like summer road trips to see bands.
So you
And
legit woke up in a car
well,
all the time.
I was the passenger princess or the backseat princess that would fall asleep in the car. I was the navigator.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You had the
So
map and
yes, MapQuest. So the directions that were always wrong.
really going back now.
To print out the sheets and if you yeah. I was really good at doing that. So like I literally used to wake up in cars. Like we slept in cars sometimes, but like just to get a couple of like winks in before going to a show. So like,
That.
and prime time, the best time to go to shows was in the summertime. School. So
Yeah.
but definitely,
Woke Up in
I
a
woke
Car
up in
is
a car.
great. Something Corporate is a great band altogether.
In general, it gives you that like California like kind of feel. It's that like surf kind of like rock.
Oh yeah, it's a SoCal band. You know, Something
Yeah.
Corporate because we went from Something Corporate to Jack's Mannequin to Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. He's actually playing a show at Red Rocks in a few weeks where it's all three bands jumping from one to the other. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I debated figuring out how can I get there to go just so I can hear If You See Jordan live because
And
that's
who do we
another
know
one.
that's named Jordan that we can?
I don't know anyone personally that I enjoy talking to, but I know it's one of my favorite songs to sing in the car.
When is it? Is it my vacation? Let's go. No, my husband
I'm
would
seriously
kill me.
considering it. Does anybody have a favorite Something Corporate song they would add to a playlist besides possibly Punk Rock Princess or I Woke Up in a Car or Drunk Girl? Drunk Girl's another fun one.
Oh, a drunk girl. And that whole album has to be discussed on this list. Like that whole album needs to be on this list. I'm sorry, Kevin, because I think that might be.
Poor Kevin didn't get to make this one because he had a late night work call, which is how we ended up being like, should we finally make this pop punk playlist? And it's too bad too
when
because I had a lot of Uncle Joey jokes ready to go. For
when
Alanis.
Kevin's away, the Ashleys play.
Kevin's like, forget these girls. I'm done.
I'm just gonna let them fangirl, and he's just.
The fangirling is real. Okay.
We're still trying to get him to go with us to that concert.
I'm gonna convince him before it hits. Trust me, he's gonna be like, "Oh, never again." Let's talk about the All American Rejects real quick and what they've got going on, because there's a lot going on with them. So you've seen them live, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I've seen them live on Warped Tour. Lucky for me.
Okay.
You've seen them live too.
I saw them
Yeah.
last year, possibly the time is blending. I apologize. I saw them with the Starting Line and
That's another good
Newfound Glory, and
one. Okay.
I will say, I love the All American Rejects. I love their music. If they were playing a solo concert, I don't think, based on the performance that I saw, that I would go see them again.
I don't like them live. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not the biggest All American Rejects fan. But I do feel like they belong on this playlist because their songs their songs make me think of summer. I don't as a band, I can separate the art from the artist. I can do that. So if I don't like the people, I can still enjoy the songs, especially if I have a special connection to the songs. I'm the same way about with Brand New and all that type of stuff. So
oh yeah, that's another one we're gonna have to circle back to. Let me know in chat. how do we feel about the All American Rejects? And they have a ton of albums, right?
Yeah.
So starting with this self-titled all the way to so now they have the Sandbox that will be coming out soon. So they've got new
Yes.
music. So
And
you
they're
have a
doing amazing with their freaking promotion
oh
for right
my
now. Like the
gosh.
pop-up shows. Like not that I don't like them live, but the idea
I'd
of it,
go to
I
a
want to
house
go.
party.
Like if
Somebody tag
if
All American Rejects right now and be
yeah,
like, come to Massachusetts, come to Rhode Island. We'll go. We want to go.
like I like the
Tyson
experience
Ritter
alone just
seems
sounds
sober
fun.
now.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm
But
gonna
it just
call it
seems
what it
fun.
is. Like it seems like
Yeah.
they've gotten their shit together. And the
Yeah.
promotion that they're doing to really pump out the music and everything.
It seems very
I
old school.
tried
It seems
finding the
old
cereal
school.
box too. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's
like
can we
it
talk
seems very
about
old school. What is it reminding me of? There's like a movie where like to see a band, you have to find like the clues to find out where they're like secret. I forgot what movie that is.
I need
It's
to
a
know
plot
what movie
line.
that is, but
It's a plot line to a movie where like you have to find the clues to find out where that band was playing that night, and it's like this like rom-com-y kind of thing.
I
But
know
like
I die to know what rom com that is, but it reminds me of that Christmas movie with I think it's got Seth Rogen and somebody else, and they have to go.
oh yeah, that is also a plot line because it's like a party, a secret party.
Yes. Oh, okay.
But
So
this is like this like band, and
is
I
it
don't.
Nick and Nora's Infinite
Yes,
Playlist?
I think it's Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
You can
Yes,
thank Danny for that one.
yes,
He knew what
thank
you were
you.
talking about.
But like it's giving me that vibe. Like I'm seeing, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like
You know,
that's
really
like
have to
really
pay
good.
attention. Like, where are they geographically? What's going on in the
Yeah.
world? And then, can we talk about Schmonly Pans?
No. When I first saw that and I sent it right to you.
So I went and subscribed. I'm not going to lie to you. I 100% did because I needed to know what was on there. I got to see the music video, the claymation one, 2 days early, which was kind of cool, and then some pictures. But there was nothing good for pictures. It was just promo pictures that were posted early. So if you're gonna follow,
Then he should
you'll
just
get
do
some
a
stuff updated.
Patreon. Damn.
Agreed. Like maybe you'll make a little bit more cash. But I think it's great that they're kind of sticking it to Ticketmaster in this weird way that they're like, hey, we can still draw out all these people lines
Yeah,
around
without
these neighborhoods.
like I don't even like all the All American Rejects that much, and I'm like I'd freaking go. Like it's
Heck
working.
yeah.
It's working.
So working. They've revitalized themselves because they haven't had an album in I
Yeah.
think what 11 years was the last one before this new one that's coming. They've gotten a lot of bad press as far as being divas and you know, you talk to people, have you seen them live? Would you go again? No. I'm so intrigued by what they're doing. It's absolutely fascinating just from like the marketing
Yeah.
perspective.
Like whoever their PR person is, like needs a
Genius.
raise because genius. But what All American Reject song would you put on the playlist?
Okay, I love all of their songs. It's hard. I fully think that the last song, like the song, the last song, is the new closing time for our generation.
It is. It is.
I like Dirty Little Secret. I think it's a little cliche.
Yeah.
I think There's a Place is a very slowed down summer song, is just one to like unwind to.
Yeah. I personally would pick Swing Swing.
Swing Swing is great.
Like I think it even came out during the summer or towards like the tail end of the summer. Because I remember like it like debuted on like All Things Rock, and it was like I just remember seeing the video and being like the intro to it just kind of like hooked me. And I was like,
Yes.
this is good. my little teenage brain was like,
Yeah.
this is good.
There's not many All American Rejects songs that I'm like, I would never listen to this again.
Yeah.
So we could just put all the albums on the list, but like yeah, if you had to pick. So again, for anybody in chat, what's your favorite All American Rejects? It has to go on the summer playlist song. Let us know in chat.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way because of course it is me, and there would be a Good Charlotte song on this list.
There has to be.
And I know that I can put a million songs because it's my playlist, but for me, I'm trying to stick to at least one or two.
Okay.
But if I had to pick one song from Good Charlotte that makes me think of summer, it would be Festival Song, hands down.
Which one?
Festival Song.
Festival. Because you did Warped Tour?
But it would either be Summer or the Anthem, like those two. But like,
I think I would have to go with the Anthem because it is a little
Yeah.
bit more like fast paced for me.
Yeah.
But again, it's Good Charlotte. It's hard to pick.
but like Festival Song where it's just like it makes it seem like it just getting you excited for that show, getting you excited for like whatever you're doing that night. Like they wrote it for I think it was one of the festivals in DC. But I don't know. It just, and like the music video is just filled with like all these different bands. There's cameos from like New Found Glory and Goldfinger and all that. So like it's the epitome of like pop punk in that, like with that song.
I think you're right.
Or
I
even
think
like
that's a good
East
one
Coast
to have.
Anthem too. East
Oh
Coast
yeah.
Anthem could also be a very summer song too.
Yeah, that's good. I always like Girls and Boys from Good Charlotte, and like that
Yeah.
whole album again is just it's
Yeah.
hard to get away from. Um,
Yes.
Good Charlotte, I think, would be on the list a few times, but be very spread out.
Yes. And they are making a resurgence. They are coming back. They're doing the festival circuit. They haven't done anything around here, which makes me sad.
We can still hold on to hope on that one.
Because you haven't seen Good Charlotte yet, right?
I have not. They're another one that I'm like, this is a lifetime in the
So
making.
wait. I'm taking you to your. I'm gonna be taking you to your first Good Charlotte show then, because I am the epitome of. Well, I'm not the epitome. I know someone who's seen them like over 200 times, but I have seen them a lot of times. So I feel like it's very very fitting if you were to go with me.
That's gonna be another situation where like when it happens, I'm gonna be like, you need to stop me from crying. Just smack me. Like just
It's
let
not a
it
Good
happen.
Charlotte show. It's not a Good Charlotte show if I don't cry. So I'll
That's
be right
fair.
there with you. Like I think I actually have a video and I'll send it to you because I still have it of they played the Motivation Proclamation in Boston and I'm barricade and my friend's recording it and Joel comes up and goes like this in front of us because I'm crying. Like I was like I feel insulted that Joel Madden knows me from going to so many shows but then just made fun of me from
I
crying.
mean, you know, I mean, worse things could happen, right? He could just be like, "Oh, she's nuts."
Ooh, someone just said in chat, boys like girls thunder.
Oh, such a good song. Boys Like Girls is amazing.
Yes, that's another good one as well. It falls under that like pop punk umbrella where like it's like what like a really like that stands out for them.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good song. Boys Like Girls. That whole album that Thunder is on is great. So is Hero Heroine off that album. We've got so these are on Alan McCurdy's Swing Swing, and then Little Things from Good Charlotte.
Okay, we're going
Well,
self-titled a lot of self-titled
self-titled. I like it.
a
We know
lot of self-titled.
we were just talking about Little Things from Good Charlotte recently, and we were like, my husband was singing. He's like, "What song is that? Who is that again?" I'm like, "It's pretty sure that's Good Charlotte." Yeah, and I had to go check out the album, and be like, "It's this one, right?" And that is such a good song.
It is, yes. Mandy Moore was actually in that music video, which
Was
is
she
funny.
really? I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
go back and watch
she
that
she
one.
she she played the girl who was the trick.
Oh my God. What a baby. She
I
was so
know, I
young.
know, I know.
How do you feel about Teenage Dirtbag?
I think it's iconic. And actually, Good Charlotte just did Teenage Dirtbag at a festival
Did they
with,
really?
yes, where they brought the lead singer of Wheatus out and did Teenage
Awesome.
Dirtbag with them. So that was a good transition, and you didn't even know it.
Sometimes I'm just good like that.
That song, like, was on so many of my mix CDs. Like that song, and like I felt like such a cool, edgy person having that because it was like late '90s, like not a whole lot of people like it was popular, but it wasn't like popular. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like,
I mean, you had the two people from American Pie in the music video, and it's one of
yeah,
those songs that like everybody knows. Comment in chat. The story behind the song is interesting. Danny, I'm assuming you're talking about Little Things. I would love to know more about that.
yes,
I'm assuming you know because Good Charlotte.
I know a lot of it. Yes,
But yeah, with Teenage Dirtbag, I think that's another one that deserves a spot on the pop punk playlist because
yes,
that's
especially since it had like its
oh,
revival,
he did
like
mean
was it
Teenage
like
Dirtbag.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely want to know
Teenage
more about
Dirtbag,
that then.
yeah, like Teenage Dirtbag had like its revival was like 3 years ago now.
There might have been a revival, but I feel like I just never stopped listening to it. So
Yeah. Well, it
it's
like
just
became
existed.
popular. It became popular on TikTok and like it like
Oh
kind of like
yeah.
it came back like really really like fast with like everyone was like all of a sudden super into it and I was like I've liked this for years. I feel like that like oh what is it like the hipsters like I like Teenage Dirtbag before it was popular.
Like I liked it when Jason Biggs and Mina Savari were still doing American Pie.
Oh, that music video is so good though.
That's so good.
So I'm gonna pull out something that is a lot older, and this is
All
gonna make you
right.
sound really old because it is an older pop punk song, and I'm gonna say Green Day When I Come Around
Oh, so good.
because Green Day When I Come Around for whatever reason is always played at like carnivals.
Like Like Ferris wheel
Yeah,
carnivals?
yeah, like Ferris wheels. Like if you ever go on like those, like those rides that like play music while you're spinning around on it.
Yeah.
Green Day, When I Come Around, is always playing on it. Like that was the first time I heard that song was on one of those rides when I was like
Okay.
younger. And if it's on like that song is also on a lot of like teen movie soundtracks too. When
That
it
part
comes to
I
like
knew. I didn't know about the
summertime and things, yeah,
carnivals.
yeah. It was so weird because I was talking about it once. I was like, oh, I always hear that song when I go on like those type of rides. I don't like going on a lot of those rides because God knows what's going to happen when you go on those. But if any Green Day song makes me think of summer, it's When I Come Around. That's like time of your life makes you think of like graduations and stuff like that. When I
Yeah.
Come Around is very like
Okay. See, I think when I hear Green Day, I think like American Idiot a bit more for summertime, just because it's
yeah,
more fast paced for me. But I
yeah,
think you're right. What's the other one from Green Day that I love? Is Basket Case. There we go.
basket case.
Yeah. But again, it's just ones that like I personally were like this has to go on the list because it's you know
It's Green Day.
it's Green Day. It's Green Day is another one that you hear and it's like this is summer music. I find I'm
Yeah.
not listening to them in December. I'm listening to them in July.
So I'm adding something to this list that people might not consider pop punk, but they are playing the Warp Tour this year, I think, in Florida, and they were on the first Warp Tour, and that is Sublime. And for
Okay.
Sublime, I'm gonna say What I Got because I love that song, and actually, I saw them. I saw them last summer with the new vocalist Jacob, who's Brad's son,
Hmm.
which is like goosebumps. Like it was like a once in a lifetime experience, and I bought the tickets because I didn't think they were going to be touring. They just played Boston Calling. I was like, oh my god, we need to go. So we saw them at a festival in Plymouth last year, and it was so fun. It was so good.
And they like held up still? Yeah?
Yeah, like he sounds like Brad.
Okay.
It
I'd give
literally
it a
gives me
go.
goosebumps. And he plays with his guitar.
Oh no. It happened already. I'll give her a second and jump back in. You're back.
Yay! But no, he plays with his guitar and everything. Like he plays with his dad's guitar, and they are making new music, but it was very good. Like I feel like if anyone could take over the reins of it, Jacob is definitely.
So you just mentioned something very interesting, and I think we have to touch on this a second, right?
Okay.
So you just mentioned Sublime is now making new music. We know
Hmm.
All American Rejects are making new music. Newfound Glory is also putting out new stuff. Yellow Card is
What
doing the
year
same
is it?
thing. What year is
Year
it?
is it? It's like
We have, it's 2025, but somehow I'm 15, 16 years old again. And
yep.
we have this amazing resurge of pop punk happening around us. Where do we think it's going to go?
It
Anybody in
makes
chat
me
want to lay in on this?
it makes me nervous because I kind of feel like do you remember in like the early 2000s when like Motley Crue, Aerosmith, and all these 80s bands were making comebacks, and it was
Yeah.
like they're never going to retire. They're just going to keep touring. Are we that now? Is that us?
I
Like, is this play about us?
is this play about us? That's such a good call right now. Hey Savannah, how are you? Oh yeah, and the Starting Line just came out with a new song last week too. That was really
Yeah,
good. They have an album coming out, I think in September or October. I pre-ordered it, like, and the song was really
yeah.
good.
And like, didn't like Simple Plan come out with a new album last year? A new song last year?
Simple
They,
Plan
they're
just
all
dropped something with Avril Lavigne a couple weeks
yeah,
ago. That was
yeah.
really good. Avril Lavigne just did a song with Billy Idol. Can't figure that one out. Like again, really
Like
good.
again, what year is
What
this?
I don't know, but I'm here for it. Like
I know,
it's
like
like they
I'm
knew
living
to
for
set
it.
us up for
Yes.
success this year.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Do you know what these angsty, angry 30-something-year-olds need?
More pop
they,
punk.
they need they need to stop singing about being angsty and teenagers. They need to start singing about being mad, depressed,
Yeah.
and 30. Like, can someone
Ooh.
write a song about putting inserts in our Converses to go across?
I would sing that song. We have Lindsay in chat who said she's torn between being excited at the idea of new music and being worried about ruining a good thing. And that is so valid.
Yes, facts.
Yeah, it's so I'm so nervous about that because every time I listen to something new, you have such high hopes coming from these bands that you've listened to what feels like half your life at this point, right? I've been listening to Some bands 20 years, 30 years. I think Simple Plan celebrating 25 years this year, and that's a scary thought. So if they are putting out no music, it's like, what you guys gonna sing about? Because we're roughly the same age, and
Pre-gaming with Advil before a concert.
taking a Pepsi after dinner. So pop punk.
Again, inserts in those Converses.
Yes, I had to do it the other day. It hurts now. Um, my uncle laughs because he goes to a lot of concerts still, and he's in his 60s, and I took him to see Journey a couple years ago, and he's like, back in my day they used to be drinking like vodka and whiskey on the stage. Now they're all drinking bottled water. And I'm like, well, yeah, man.
Hydrated.
Hydrated.
Be hydrated. You gotta
What
be
life is
hydrated,
this?
man. I remember going to like Warped Tour and downing like 5 Monsters and being sweating and not having one drink, like one like hydrated beverage. And if it did, it came from a tin can. It was like the Warped Tour like
Oh,
canned
yeah.
water. It tasted different. It tasted like it literally came from a hose. And now I'm like, oh wait, we're going to a concert. Okay, let me have my liquid IV and my water before we go.
I went to Jack's Mannequin and I picked up my friend and I was like, I left my water bottle at home. That's so sad. And I'm like, what am I
Your
gonna
emotional
do?
support
My
water
emotional
bottle.
support water bottle. That's important because it's not like it used to be. Like we have to be responsible now. There's a festival coming up in Connecticut, I think in September, and I was debating going. It's the Soundside Music Festival, and there's a bunch of different bands playing. I think Joe is playing, Remy Wolf, and some other ones. And one of my coworkers is going, and I was like, oh, I could go. I'm like, how much Advil do I need to bring? Like, how much sunscreen? Like, just things we never thought about in years past.
I know.
I had done
I don't think I wore one lick of sunscreen at Warped Tour
never.
ever. I think I got like so bad sunburn that I couldn't even lay down the next morning.
I had done one Warped Tour at Great Woods, Xfinity, whatever it is now, and I remember seeing Butch Walker was there, and he
Oh,
was
I love him.
amazing.
I love him. I love him so much.
I remember leaving, and I was so sunburned, and I just did not give two f's about it, and was like, "This is still the best day of my life." And was out in the lawn, couldn't see a damn thing, but had an amazing time. And I remember Gavin DeGraw was at that one for like a minute, but it was before he was even like really like before like One Tree Hill was a thing, and he was really like on the map, and
Butch Walker was also featured on One Tree Hill, I believe, too.
he was for a different
Yeah, he was.
mixtape.
Yeah. Mixtape. Dude, One Tree Hill introduced me to so many different types of
It really
music,
did.
including Tyler Hilton.
Love me some Tyler, but we're going off the
Yes.
pop punk train.
Okay, so I am going to dip my toe into some Taking Back Sunday.
Ooh,
What Taking Back Sunday song do you think reminds you of summer?
Cute without the E.
Really?
All day.
I was torn between Cute Without the E and Make Damn Sure, but like
Ooh.
there's like a small part of me that's like just pick your So Last Summer.
Now you have me
Like
questioning.
every song, everything that mentioned summer. But
Ooh, A Decade Under the Influence. These are this playlist is gonna be like 9 hours long.
it is.
I love it.
But also, if anyone is going to the Newfound Glory Jimmy Eat World Offspring show, we are going to be walking around during tailgating and asking people what songs they would like to put on this playlist.
Yes, with our emotional support water bottles
and our neck fans and our supports in our shoes. But if I have to pick, I'm probably going to pick Cute Without the E. That's gonna be mine.
I think that is a good one. I think so. Danny is also going to that show. You're going to have to like message us so we can meet up. That's fantastic. I love that. Are you in the pit, Danny? Because we will absolutely have to. Like,
Oh, I'm gonna regret that. I can't. I don't know how you
That's
talk
a future
to
Ashley's problem. We'll deal with it. It's all good. Life's fine. I don't know how we talked each other into that. It's all good. He says no.
Give me my ankle brace. Give me my everyone's like, why are you in the pit?
Because sometimes it's okay to make poor life decisions for the sake of Newfound Glory, The Offspring, and Jimmy Eat World. It's all good.
I'm gonna regret this.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's all good. But yeah, A Decade Under the Influence, I think also has to make that list because he's right. That's a great song.
Yes. Since we're talking about Taking Back Sunday, I kind of want to dive into Brand New.
Okay. Yes.
Real quick.
Yes. Okay.
I'm torn because I kind of want to put The Quiet Things No One Ever Knows in it because I absolutely love that song. But 70 times 7 is so... That's like a blasted super loud and just like scream it like song. I whenever the weather gets warm, I put on that song.
You have to put on that song. You have to put on. I mean, Brand New is great.
Yeah.
I would like to see some new music coming from them to see where
Yes.
things are going. But okay, I think the question is they're going on tour, right? This is like a huge reunion because
Yeah, but those tickets were insanely priced. That
yes, they
like were
were.
even they
That
were.
was one that I could not
I almost
justify.
had a hot. I was like, oh no.
You know, for the venue that they were going to be at in our area, that was one that I was like, pass. Um, but I've also seen a lot of people come out now and be like, I don't know if they're going to follow through with this tour
Yeah.
because of the
Oh
perception that people have right now about
yeah.
the singer.
Yes.
And I'll leave it politely like that.
Because people can't separate art from the artist, and I know it is hard, especially when you go see them live and stuff. And I get
Yeah.
it, but I feel like some people have such an emotional connection to songs,
They
especially like
do.
brand news, that hearing it live and like experiencing it live is a total different experience. That we have adult money now and we can do it.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
I know, and that, but I don't think it's gonna go well. It's sad, but I don't think it's gonna go well.
I'm hoping that, the first show will happen and their videos
Are
will
they
make
already
their way
playing? Are they
around.
already playing shows?
I haven't seen anything yet. I don't
I
think it's kicked
saw like,
off.
unless it was an old video, but I saw like a live video of them playing the Quiet Things. Like they opened with it, but I don't know if that was an old show or not.
I'm
Like
pretty
from
in
like the
tune
other
to when
show.
concerts kick off. Like my TikTok is literally
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and then pop punk. So nothing from Brand New as of right now, other than people being like, I don't think this is going to go forward, but we'll see. But I think you're right. I think so we comment. I think the tour already started in the West Coast, so maybe a
Yeah.
little bit of research to see because I'd like to. Well, first of all, it's been a few years. I'd like to see how they're performing, just like showmanship wise,
Yes.
sound wise.
Yeah.
Because when we do talk about Boys Like Girls, they had done that Disney compilation album, A Whole New Sound, and they don't
Yeah.
sound like they did.
No.
Honestly, he gave me like raspy Phil Collins vibes.
And that's thing.
Um,
Some bands can't come back. Like it gives me like the Vince Neil needs to retire kind of thing,
yes,
where you can't even sing your own songs basically.
yeah.
Like, and I don't know if that's gonna happen with Brand New. I hope not.
I'm willing so I will give anybody a try. Who were we talking about recently? We the Kings.
Mhm.
Okay, so they redid Check Yes Juliet.
Okay.
I hated the redo. And I think it was just because
I
I was
haven't heard it, but I'll give it.
give it a listen and let me know what you think. Like don't maybe I'm
Check
biased.
that was such a good song.
Yeah, and they cut out the cough in the beginning and
But that was how you knew it was like.
thank you.
That was like I like all the imperfections of songs, like when they keep in like background people talking in the background before a song, or that's the best part.
I mean, half the problem is that I downloaded so much off LimeWire back in the day, and that's what I listened to for so long that you just expect those imperfections to come in. I think I
Yeah,
had a Gavin DeGraw song with a AIM door closing that I listened to for so
I
long that when
think
I heard
I
the real
had that same
version,
one.
yeah, okay, so so you hear those
Yeah,
imperfections, and it's just what you know. So when it's taken away, you're kind of like, well, what production quality is this?
yeah.
Hey, Charlie, how are you? We're talking pop punk playlists. What's your favorite pop punk song that belongs on your ultimate summer playlist? Throw it in chat. We gotta know. We're talking Newfound Glory, We the Kings. We gotta circle back to Jimmy Eat World because they have a ton of hits too. We gotta talk about and
Yes,
also maybe not hits.
yes. What would you add from Jimmy Eat World to this
I
playlist?
have to double check the name of the song because I always get it wrong. But there's the lyric in it that I love, and I call it Crimson and Clover. I don't think that's the name.
That's a Joan Jett song.
Yeah, so I know
Actually, it's a
it's
cover. I'm pretty sure it's like Joan Jett covers that song. I'm not sure. There's so many songs that I think is the original artist, and then I realize it's a cover of an older song, and then I feel stupid.
so it's a praise chorus off of
Hey.
Bleed American.
Okay.
And the lyric goes, "Are you going to spend your life standing in the back looking around?" And I just love the lyric, and it's the fun vibe where it's like, "Let's go. We're dancing, we're doing this. Get in there." And then it's Crimson and Clover over and over, and it's Yeah, it's Our House in the Middle of the Street. If you
Yeah.
know it, you know it. I'm a terrible singer, sorry. But that is my favorite Jimmy Eat World song. Even taking the hits off, I love
Yes.
Jimmy Eat World. I'm so excited to go see them.
So am I. I've never actually seen them, so like this is my first time.
Yay, I get to
So
take you to
you
your
get to
first
take
Jimmy
me to
Eat
go.
World.
So you actually get to take me to a show when I haven't seen someone. It's a rarity.
Oh, I can't wait. It's happening all over the place.
I would probably put Sweetness.
Sweetness is such a good one.
Yes. Like the angsty teenager in me would be like, put the middle. But
The middle
like
is also good, right?
the
But
middle is
like
good, but I feel like the it's not the best.
I feel like many corporate companies have taken that song and used it as like a feel
Yes.
good song to be like,
Yeah,
it's
and it's not.
okay, it's fine, we're just in transition. And I've had it pumped into
No.
me so much that we're like, no, no,
No.
thank you. Um, no, I love the middle. I will always sing it, but
Yes.
it's not the playlist I'm looking for.
Um it's not really in the Jimmy Eat World realm, but I'm gonna pick something from Motion City Soundtrack next.
Ooh,
And actually, I heard this song for the first time on when I went to go see them at Warped Tour, and I fell in love. And then as an adult, realizing this song is probably about someone with ADHD, and it's Everything Is All Right.
yeah, that person definitely has ADHD.
It's my anthem. It's my anthem. It's fine.
That is such a good song. I love that song so much, and every time I hear it, I feel whenever that song comes up, I feel like I'm always in the car, and I find myself somehow going from like 65 straight 20 miles faster to like 85, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta slow down. Um, it's just one of those songs that amps you right up.
Yeah,
How
like
does
I'm in
it
the middle
do
of
that?
cleaning, and I'm just like, I get like that, like this like second urge to like, like I don't know what it is, and it's so good live. Like it is so good live that like it literally like made me just want that album because of how good it was live. Like I went to the merch booth and bought that album.
Oh, really? That's lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah. Motion City Soundtrack is another classic like punk band that does not
yeah.
get enough recognition for what they've
No,
done.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
A couple comments in chat we have. Oh, My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade.
So I had a hard time trying to pick a My Chemical Romance song for this.
Really?
And yes, I because I love so, but like I'm trying to think because like I know we had the conversation of like, um, it had to make you think of summer. Not many My Chemical Romance songs make me think of summer. Welcome to the Black Parade is my one of my favorite
Oh,
songs. Like
you
my
can't beat
husband
it.
jokes that little ting, like I'll just come running into the
You
room.
do.
Like
It's like the Ice Cream Man
yeah,
song for millennials.
well, Clerks 3 opens up to that song. And I just
That's
remember
right, it
being in theater
does.
and hearing like ping, and I was like, oh, like I just got so like it's the song of my people. But I don't think of it as like my summer playlist song. If I was to think of my summer playlist song, it'd be something from Three Cheers. So like Helena is one of them that I absolutely just I love that song.
Yeah, I mean, Helena's a great song. So is I'm Not
Yeah,
Okay. Like, that's a classic.
yeah,
Like, we got to sing along to this. I think I Welcome to the Black Parade is a great one to do because it starts off slow, it builds up, and then you finish it out
yeah.
strong.
It is that very much you can just sing it with like a group of people, and it just feels like God. I can't wait to do that though.
I know. Well, September can't come fast enough, trust me. If you had to pick something off of the Black Parade, I would have to go with I Don't Love You.
I would have to, this is gonna be funny just because it's so fitting now, especially like if I was to go to Warped Tour this weekend, I'd probably pick Teenagers.
Oh, yeah. That's another one. Like, that's a guilty pleasure song, I think, for a lot of
Yeah.
people because when I
Yes.
first, like, I heard it and
I
it
didn't
took
like
me a
it.
while to I loved it, but I didn't realize that
I
was
didn't
My
like it at
Chemical
first.
Romance at first.
Yeah.
Had
I didn't
no
like it at
clue it was
first.
them.
It
I
took me a
do
while
sing
to like
karaoke.
Black Parade. Yeah. It
Yeah.
took me a while to like the Black Parade actually.
So that was what. So it was really pushed on me. My sister always loved that album, and you would hear that little like ding in the beginning, and it's like, oh God, not
Yeah.
again. But it really grows on you the whole album. And
Yes.
so Three Cheers just came out with a deluxe album this past Friday.
I know. Yeah. I think
I
the Hot Topic one is the one that I want.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I know Kevin got the Amazon one. I've been leaning towards the Urban Outfitters. For anybody that does collect vinyl, did you see all of the variants that My Chem came out with for the re-release? And did you pick one? And why? Because
So
I can't.
I already have it. and I know that like deep inside I want it. I want the other one, but I feel like in my head I'm like my husband would kill me if I brought home another My Chemical Romance album.
Couple comments I missed in chat. Big Casino from Jimmy Eat World is another great song.
That's another good one. Yeah,
such a good song. The whole
yes,
Chases Light album is fantastic. I have one.
yes.
Danny, I'll have to connect with you offline to show you my weird Jimmy Eat World vinyl that I have. I can't figure out what is wrong with it. It's a whole thing, but that's a conversation for a different day. Teenagers, I think, is a great karaoke song. Charlie mentions that I sing karaoke, especially Britney Spears, which I do. I will rock me some Baby One More Time, and there is a great punk rock version of Baby One More Time out there. It's a cover, but I couldn't tell you who sings it.
Is it from the Freaky Friday soundtrack?
It is from the Freaky Friday soundtrack. Thank you for knowing that. Oh my god. This is why I love you.
Listen, all I want is for an actual version of the song from Freaky Friday.
Yes.
Because there's covers to it, but I just want the...
She gets so mad she kicked herself off.
Every time I get so powerful on something, it boots me out.
She got so mad she just left.
Like, squeak.
Yes, that soundtrack is amazing, and I was trying to get it from the Disney Emporium, but the Baby One More Time was not on there.
Oh, man.
Sad. And then another one from our Twitch streamers, we have Hot Shell Ray, Tonight Tonight.
Add that to the list.
So I think you know that one, right? It's like, there's a party on the rooftop, top of the world tonight.
Yeah.
Hot Shell Ray had some bops, too.
Oh, yeah. So what Fall Out Boy song we put on this list?
Oh, God, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah. But, like, to me, a lot of Fall Out Boy songs make me feel, like, fall and cozy. I don't know why. Maybe it's...
I get that vibe.
Yeah, like, maybe it's because of, like, their vibe in general give you that, like... I don't want to say, like, plaid and, like, kind of, like, cozy kind of thing, but, like, that's the vibe I get when Fall Out Boy. It makes me think of, like, cold weather. It's weird.
I like the one... Oh, help me. Where is your boy tonight?
Grand Theft Auto.
Thank you.
Where's your boy tonight? That is actually what I have written on my list.
Fall Out Boy names their titles, or names their songs like Nirvana did, where they're like, throw it at the wall, see if it sticks, and it's tough.
Yeah, and sometimes I can't even pronounce it. Like, I'll be like, what is that song with the...
Yeah. So I think... So I love
like,
that
for the
one.
longest time, I called the song Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
When I was in high school.
Sometimes
like,
it's
that's
just tough.
not the name of the song, Ashley.
So Grand Theft Autumn, I think, is a fantastic summer song. I also like the one that's like, so light 'em up, up, up.
Yeah.
I think it's
Dance makes me feel like kind of like summery. But it's hard because a lot of Fall Out Boy makes me kind of like... I don't want to say they're not a summer band, but that's just the kind of vibe I get from it. Like, it doesn't make me want to put them on my summer playlist too much.
Okay, so this is like a hot take, but I think I'm gonna get some flame for this, right? So I had a conversation recently with somebody off my trivia team, and his argument was Blink-182 was always kind of like a sellout band, and they signed to a major label when Dude Ranch happened, and after that they just kind of like blew up into the world. Now I love Blink-182, but I feel like Fall Out Boy kind of did the same thing, where they just pumped out a ton of music that was big hits, and it's for everybody, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think it made it hard to really have like a niche band that everybody loved. Like, they are mainstream pop punk, they are not niche pop punk.
But I feel like that was the whole point. Like, that's what he wanted. He wanted to get famous, and that's what he did.
And cool, man. You were on One Tree Hill. You are...
Oh, my God. I always forget that.
I think you went full frontal for a time. I remember that for a second.
When it, like, accidentally, like, leaked online.
Accidentally, sure. Okay. This isn't like when Chris Evans accidentally did it. I know what you did, Pete Wentz.
Yeah.
Name a song after that.
And, like, I just So, like, unpopular opinion. Fall Out Boy is, like, kind of like an all-American remix to me. I like them, but I don't, like, love them. I wouldn't go out of my way to see them again in concert.
Yeah. Like, I have never seen them. I would love to go see them live, to be like, I saw Fall Out Boy once, but that would be, like, a one-and-done experience for me.
Maybe if a band that you liked was opening or co-headlining or something. Yeah.
Like same thing with All
Um,
American Rejects. I loved seeing them live because I was like, I've always wanted to see them and I love their music and I'll still continue collecting their albums.
yes.
I don't want to see them live because Tyson Ritter was definitely coked out on stage and his banter was unbearable to the point that I was like, if I left right now, I think I'd be okay with it.
It's like how people feel like when they go see Molly Crew now. They're like, dude, just put him out of his misery. Stop making him do this shit.
Like at some point, is this a cash grab for you or are you just really passionate about
Yeah.
what you do? And it's hard. And like I have seen Bret Michaels a number of times on stage. That man can still perform. He puts his heart into it and it's somebody who still wants to be there. Some people are like, I'm high and I'm doing this. Why?
I think we need to do a counter of how many times you mention Bret Michaels on a stream. I think it's every time you bring up Bret Michaels.
I love Bret Michaels, so there's that.
There's two things that can be expected from this stream. Taylor Swift is mentioned and Bret Michaels is mentioned.
Somebody's going to start a bell and be like, do a shot every time she
Ding,
mentions.
ding, ding.
And it's all good. Everyone's got their kinks.
So I wouldn't call this a deep cut band. A lot of people know them, but I feel like they're not as featured anymore because of a bunch of like controversy, not controversy, but they kind of fell off. And that would be Mest. I have Mest,
Ooh, yes.
Jaded on here.
So good.
They definitely fell off a lot. I'm not gonna lie, they became popular because of Good Charlotte, because they basically piggyback on Good Charlotte. As an adult, I did not want to admit this as an angsty teenager because I loved Mest. As I say with I have a Mest tattoo that I got when I was 18. I loved Mest so much that I refused to admit that, but they literally got popular because of Good Charlotte. They piggybacked off of Good Charlotte and Fall Out Boy, and they're a really good band, but that's kind of why they probably fell off and no one really keeps track of them anymore. And I know they're still playing shows. It's not the original lineup. I think it's just the lead singer, Tony. But for me, I would put Jaded These Years or Cadillac, those two songs. They do have a lot of good summer-ish songs. They definitely feel inspired by like Rancid and like those type of punk bands like MXPX and stuff. And I feel like 16-year-old Ashley is like, what is this? Who are you? But they have to make the playlist because they do make me feel like summer. They are like that, like cliche pop punk band that played the Warped Tour and got everyone else psyched up for Warped Tour and stuff. So they are making the playlist.
I mean, everybody has like those personal connections to music, right? Like if Mess was your band, it was totally your band. Yeah. Cadillac was an amazing song that makes it onto many of my playlists for the summertime. Yeah. And it usually is like a onesie Tuesday where I'm like, here's a couple of Mess, and then we can cycle back into.
It was just so catchy, like top down, seat back, rolling in my Cadillac. Like that was just so like.
It was a time.
And Jaded is such like a angsty, like nostalgic song now. Like
I feel you.
And Benji's in it, so.
Oh yes. Time is wild.
I know.
How do you feel? This is an ironic question because we're both wearing a very similar shirt. How do you feel about Simple Plan? How does everybody feel about Simple Plan?
We all know that I love Simple Plan and that you love Simple Plan. And if Lindsay is still in the chat, she loves Simple Plan.
Simple Plan is fantastic. So the first time that I got to see them, they were playing with The Offspring and Sum 41.
And I was at that show, but we didn't know that we were both at the same show. Yes.
So I have to joke because when we went for The Offspring because I really wanted to see The Offspring, and it was also Sum 41's last tour.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, just kidding, we're going to Europe next. Thanks, Derek Whibley, you lied.
He's gonna come back. They're gonna come back again. It's gonna be
need them to come back one more time, but we'll get to Sum 41 next. Yeah. Simple Plan, my best friend, who I love, after hearing it when Simple Plan, Sum 41, The Offspring, she was like, they really are the golden retrievers in this group, just happy to be here. Yeah. And it was the most relevant statement she could have made with this lineup. Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
So, I've seen Simple Plan 3 times.
Same.
I saw them open with Good Charlotte. They didn't open. They played with Good Charlotte. I saw them play Warped Tour with my best friend, and it was downpouring when we saw them. And we ran from their set all the way to their booth to do a meet and greet.
Oh, cool.
So our photos with them were like soaking wet. And then I saw them at the show that you went to.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
So I did a meet and greet with Simple Plan where like you got to do pizza with Simple Plan, so you eat and then they come out.
They are so fun.
They're so ridiculous. I love it. Oh,
Weren't
Danny's
they in
first
American?
concert was Simple Plan.
They were in a Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie, weren't they?
They were what?
They were in a Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie, I believe.
I have to look at that.
I think it was New York Minute.
I'm going. First of all, I have been like petitioning Netflix. You need to put all these Mary Kate and Ashley
yes, definitely
on Netflix because I have no
But because they were in that movie, they lost all their street cred because they thought they were like an industry plant. Like, oh, they're just here for like the
like Canada.
Like they were made by like the music industry just to bank on the pop punk trend kind of thing.
No, they're fantastic.
But even if they were, their music is just fantastic. Like, especially like their newer stuff. Like, it's hard, like we said, for bands to come back and make newer music, and like their newer music still feels good.
Yes, it does.
It still feels relevant.
I mean, they hit the scene so strong with their No Pads album. Everything off there was a hit. Their second album had, I think that was the album with I'm Just a Kid. No, I'm just kidding. I think that was Welcome to My Life. And I racked my brain trying to figure out what Simple Plan song, a single song, I would put onto this list. I cannot pick just one.
Yeah, I know. I think I was having the same problem. Part of me was like, well, there's Summer Paradise, and I'm like,
I love Summer Paradise.
I love Summer Paradise.
That's low on my list of what I would choose to listen to.
Part of me is like, I'll do anything.
Yes, but also addicted.
Like, and addicted, but like, I'll do anything makes me feel like that, like summer party kind of thing, like that, like it's played at a summer party. So if I had to pick just one, it would probably be I'll Do Anything, because it's just so great. But also, like, I love so much of Simple Plan that I can't just pick.
You can't. When you think about, okay, so 25 years, I'm going to be 38. 38 minus 25, you do the math. You can tell where I was in the progression of growing up. If I'm not scream singing, I'm just a kid, something is wrong. Yes. And the fact that they need to update that. Yeah, I mean, I think somebody did at one point where it's like, I'm just an adult and I have to work and take Advil and be responsible for bills. Life is kind of shitty now. Put
inserts in our conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's it's a weird situation now where we're having to adult. Mm-hmm. But like, so I had the opportunity to meet them, and I got my lanyard signed. I had an album signed. I had a promo CD that somebody gave me on a college campus when I was like 17 years old. Or no, it had to be before that because it would have been 2002. I probably didn't belong on a college campus. But I brought this with me to the meet and greet, and I was like, I'm going to have them sign this. And of course, we're missing one member. There was a whole thing. And they're like, oh, we haven't seen this in so long. They one of them took pictures and put it on his Instagram story, and we made it into like their Instagram like reel later. There's a Simple Plan documentary coming out in a few weeks.
What?
Yeah. Like, I'm dying to watch this. 25 years of Simple Plan, going from No Pads up until their latest album.
Oh my God, I remember their DVD that they had back in the day with all their, like, on tour, and they were in Australia, and I just remember Pierre with a koala bear.
I know.
Because I watched the shit out of that. I got it for a Christmas gift. I wrote it down on a Christmas list, and I asked my aunt for it, and I got it, and I played that thing like nobody's business. It was...
I had such a crush on Pierre in high school. I absolutely loved him. I was convinced that like he would see me at a concert and all of a sudden we were going to be together the rest of my life. Obviously that did not happen, but I have literally loved Simple Plan. So getting to see them live, and now we're going to go in August. So impulse buy.
You are going in August.
I'm going to convince you by August. I have 2 months.
It's the holiday weekend, ma'am. I can't.
We'll figure it out. It's going to be fine.
You're just going to come kidnap me at work and throw me.
Like, nobody look at this random person carrying another random person out in a burlap sack. It's all good.
Speaking
of Ashley.
Speaking of someone had said SR71 right now.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
That song 1985 by Bowling for Soup, who is opening up for is opening or doing the co-highlighting. They actually, SR71 was the original people who sang 1985.
That's right. It's weird hearing the differences in the two.
Yes. And actually, if you watch the 1985 video, the guy from SR71 is in it. He's the guy with like the mohawk walking down the street.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, I knew that because I know random stupid music.
We also got, when I think of summer songs, I think Sugar Cult, Bouncing Off the Walls.
I have that on my
Do you really?
list.
Okay, that is such a good
Yes.
song. Sugar Cult was great. They had a couple
Oh
other
my god.
songs too, right?
Memory was another one. Memory
Memory,
was.
yes. Like Sugar Cult was good. Whatever happened to Sugar Cult? They're not doing much now, right?
I don't know. I feel like they were big in like the like all things rock and like fuse time, and then they just kind of like disappeared. People want to say that one hit wonders. They obviously had more than one hit, clearly, but
They definitely had. I know I listened to more than just like Memory and Bouncing Off the Walls. But Bouncing Off the Walls is absolutely a summer song. I hear
oh
it
yeah.
now and I think of my child who is always bouncing off the walls, but so I'm a little triggered. What are you going to do? But definitely a summer song for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, the lead singer is a big time producer now.
Oh, okay.
I can get down on that. Look at Jack Antonoff. He was in Bleachers, he was in that band Fun, and now he's making the same song for Sabrina Carpenter that is Chapel Roan.
Hmm.
Oh, he's a producer for Neon Trees.
Okay.
I dig it. That's you know what? Not a bad jump.
I know.
Swag America, Got No Swag. Do you remember that song?
No.
That was like a one hit wonder that like if you heard it, you were like, this is pretty good. And it was the most ridiculous song you could ever listen to. Like make a note and play that for yourself later and you're gonna be like, what the fuck
Okay.
is wrong with her?
Um, Gym Class Heroes, Cupid's Chokehold.
Yes. 20 years of that too, huh?
Yep. Take a look.
Is it true that was about Katy Perry?
I don't know.
Like the lore
I
was
don't
always
know.
it's Katy Perry.
But then again, I feel like there was always like some kind of lore with these songs, like the Fall Out Boy songs that were about this guy and this, you know what I mean? Like the deep dives and like the live journal posts where the people thought songs were about different people. Like because like these like band guys had live journals and MySpaces, so like,
Yeah.
and even though they were private, people still got
Oh, you
access to
still found
them.
everything, and then there was a
Yeah,
password that made it around like the channels and
yeah. So like everyone was like, "Oh, this song's about this person, and this is about this." There's like there were people finding Easter eggs before Taylor Swift, like, um, but like it might have been. Who knows? Like it's one of those situations where like it's fun lore. It's fun lore.
definitely fun lore. I think one that goes right in that vein is Face Down from the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Okay, I haven't heard that song in a while.
That was always a good song until I realized how problematic it was.
Oh
Like
yeah.
loved it. I thought it was a great song until I was like, "Oh, domestic violence."
What were we singing about?
Bad stuff. But you know what, it was great. Like I
Great,
think
great.
if you really like listen to the song, you're like, we're just calling him out on his shit and that's okay. But it's
I
a
mean, look at
great
like
song, Red Jumpsuit.
yeah, like 303. Like half of their stuff was very bold. We're like,
I mean, well, first of all, you can't trust a hoe.
yeah.
Hey, Rob, how are you? Rob's joining us on TikTok. Rob, we're talking about pop punk songs that should absolutely make a summer playlist. What's your top pop punk song that needs to be on your summer playlist? Now we're talking about 303. You can trust some hoes. Maybe. Guess it depends.
And like we have a very wide umbrella of what we're considering pop
we're all
punk
over the
songs
board
right now. Like we went from early 2000s to like late 2000s. That's like
early
borderline,
late.
borderline. But I would if it was 303. I have what is it? My First Kiss featuring Kesha.
Oh yeah, that's such a good one.
And I know you're seeing her this summer, and I'm very jealous.
I can't wait. I think Starstruck with Katy Perry was another good one that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 303. I'm glad to see that they're still doing things. And the fact that they're playing with Simple Plan, that's going to be a good show.
Yes. It's also very, very fun. So I'm going to take it from the like newer, I don't want to say newer pop punk because that was still like over a decade ago. That makes me feel like ancient. To another really good cover, but it is a very good pop punk band. And I'm going to go Goldfinger 99 Red Balloons.
Oh, such a good sing along. Goldfinger in general is so good.
Yes. Yes, they're like the godfathers of pop punk.
I can definitely agree with that.
Well, because the John Freeman like produced Mest and he helped Good Charlotte and he did all these bands. Like he produced so much of that music.
Yeah, that's wow.
And I think like Good Charlotte toured with them.
Yeah, when would that have been? That would have been sometime early 2000s
2002.
again, right? Yeah.
I think it was like 2002, 2001. I went to that show. We left before because I think it was like Goldfinger, MXPX, and Good Charlotte. I left before Goldfinger
Oh, you
because
missed
I was
out.
with my cousin
Oh.
and he got kicked in the face crowd surfing and had to leave because he thought he broke his nose.
Well, lesson learned.
And I was very young.
If we're mentioning Goldfinger, I think this one is. I don't think it was ever really like a hit, but I love it. Tijuana Sunrise.
Okay, that's another great one. Yeah.
That one was my absolute favorite. I think my family gets so annoyed when I play it because when I play it, I'm like, this is gonna go on a loop for a while. And it was always like my hangover song. Like, all right, this is going on. This is a whole vibe. We're here for it.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, did you know, for our friends over on TikTok, Mest, Good Charlotte, and Goldfinger did a song about 9/11 called "The Innocent."
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
you know, but
It's my like whole personality.
it is. I'm gonna need
Oh,
to
I
look that
haven't,
one
but
up.
like, oh, I haven't heard that song in so long though, and like it just kind of came into my head, and I was like, oh, like,
Need to check that one out.
yes, that was like the epitome of like pop punk times. Like, we probably wouldn't have bands like Mess and like as popular as Good Charlotte and stuff like that if we did not have Goldfinger.
I believe that because I think Goldfinger was another one that was similar to like who is it Sublime, where it was more like reggae punk, and
Yeah,
you
it
had
was
these other
skate
bands
punk.
that
It
were
was skate. It
skate
was like
punk.
skate
Yes,
punk, California skate punk.
love it.
Like Social Distortion, where it's like it's punk, but it's like it has a different like kind of vibe to it.
Yes. Well, if we're talking about like different genres that kind of don't fit in this realm of like the Simple Plans, the Good Charlottes, the Newfound Glories, I recently rediscovered Descendants.
Oh, that's that. Those are like the
Like we're going
grandfathers
deep
of
into like punk
like the
now.
80s. That was like 80s pop punk.
So, but
That
like
was
they
like
still
the
have their
yeah,
places on these playlists. I don't want to
yes,
grow up is just classic
yes,
Descendants number one,
yes,
and what a vibe! Like that whole the whole album is great, but the song itself was amazing, and
yeah,
I found it in a record store when I traveled for work recently, and I was like, this needs to be in the collection, and then I put it on, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be playing
yeah,
quite a bit this summer.
yeah. And like the funny thing is, like I know, like back in the day, people used to talk shit about the girls who like the Simple Plans, the Good Charlottes, and
Oh
stuff, and the
yeah, the
Newfound Glories.
fangirls.
But that's the thing is, like we looked and was like, oh hey, Benji's wearing that shirt. Let me discover this band. Like it we started off in like the Good Charlottes and the Newfound Glories, but some of us didn't have older cousins or whatnot, like how I did to introduce them to these bands. Like to me, I had an older cousin that liked like Sublime, Goldfinger, like MXPX, so that's how I kind of like dipped my toe into it a little bit. But some of these people didn't. So like you looked at like the t-shirts that people were wearing, like Benji used to wear like H2O shirts, which is like hardcore. Chad Gilbert was in Newfound Glory was infamous for wearing tons of shirts with different bands into it. And if you like Newfound Glory and Good Charlotte, the bands that they like, you feel like influence their music, so you want to discover different music. We didn't have Spotify playlists to suggest us songs.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't have TikTok sound bites to be like, this is this new band that
No,
you should check out. However you found music is how you found it. I
it was either
mean,
Drive Through Records compilations, it
mhm.
was Warp Tour compilations, it was accidentally downloading the wrong song on
That was my
LimeWire.
favorite. I found some really good
Yes,
stuff that way.
or it was the band T-shirts of the bands that you're listening to. Because if you like that band's favorite band is now going to be my new favorite band.
100%. I mean, my favorite was if you were watching TV and you found some kind of band through a TV show, all of a sudden you were a poser because oh, you found it through like some mainstream
Yeah.
media.
I got into Butch Walker because of One Tree Hill because of mixtape.
Yes, and it was a great song. But there's nothing
Yes.
wrong with finding music that you love through any channel whatsoever because music is universal and if it makes you happy, fuck everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Live your life.
Like,
That's it. Everybody else can go kiss a cactus.
Right. Like, who the hell cares that I discovered Rancid because Benji was freaking playing on stage with them? I was like, "Ooh, who's that?" Benji played on stage with someone at Warped Tour that summer. Let me like deep dive into that band. Oh, I really like this band.
Yeah. But at what age did you start listening to Good Charlotte? Remind me.
I was in the 8th grade,
All right.
like
So
late 8th grade.
shame on you then for being born into a world where you didn't just have all this innate musical knowledge,
Yeah.
ingrained into you. Like it takes time to discover these things, old or new. There's nothing wrong with that.
And like, who cares if someone started listening to someone because a popular song was on the TV?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares that if someone saw Simple Plan on New York Minute and was like, I
Who
googled
dat?
it, that
Who's
was
Pierre?
that was the movie. Because not for nothing, those girls were like Mary Kate and Ashley. You were either the Mary Kate or you were an Ashley, and
Mm-hmm.
like that was the personalities of it. And if you got into Simple Plan and then was like, huh, Pierre is wearing like I forgot, Pierre and David used to always wear like different band tees and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too.
they all
Like
have one.
you were like, oh, let me discover that. Or oh, hey, someone's playing with this. Like, how different is that than to go on a Warp Tour when you're waiting for Simple Plan to come on stage and the band before Simple Plan, not opening band because it was Warp Tour, is freaking H2O or
Exactly.
is some like hardcore band and you really like them. How is that any different than discovering a band by a t-shirt someone was wearing? Like
Bingo.
you're adding a fan to another who they really wouldn't get into. And people weren't just born punk rock like, oh hey, I was born, I discovered the Clash right away. No, that's not how it goes.
No, that's never been how it goes. And honestly, instead of being that person where it's like, oh, I knew them first, how about this is who
Yeah.
this is? Check
Yeah.
out this song. Be
Yeah.
welcoming. That's what this whole
We
music
need we need to
community
make that
is.
more acceptable because it was so
Absolutely.
bad, especially as a female back in the day. It was like, oh, poser.
Big poser.
Like, I'm sorry, sir. Like, I probably know more about this band than you do, so shut the hell up.
Love that.
But again, I wish that I could say that at 14 because I was not saying that at 14.
I'm willing to say it in my 30s now, but
yes, I'm willing to say that.
I've channeled my inner Karen much later in life.
Yes. I feel like 14-year-old me needs 37-year-old me to be like,
I think there's probably a lot of people that feel that way.
yeah.
But that's growth. I think there's another song by Blink-182 about growing up, so.
Yes. But pop punk has that reputation. Pop punk is
does.
not taken as seriously because of that.
For sure.
But
let's talk about The Offspring because we've mentioned that we're going to go see them. So again, if you are out at the show, please come and see us. What's your favorite Offspring album?
We talked about that. I love Americana.
Americana's amazing.
But I don't actually have an official one. Like, I like so many variations of their songs that like I think I have more of a favorite song than I have a favorite album.
That's fair.
Like, I don't just listen to one album. I love The Offspring, but I can't just listen to an album from start to finish from them. I have to make an Offspring playlist.
Okay. So like they have a greatest hits like album, which is awesome because they have so many fantastic songs. Americana, I think, was the first album that I had heard by them that I owned because I was like, oh, it's got Pretty Fly for a White Guy on it, which is an absolute summer song.
It is. Pretty Fly for a White Guy is 100% a summer song. Summer in 1999 makes me think of that song because I was driving around with my dad singing Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Yes.
Like, it was insane. And I know some people hate it, some people love it, but it definitely is. But to me, on my playlist would be I Want You Bad.
Yeah, Want You Bad is one of my favorite Offspring songs. And that's on Conspiracy of One. And I think that was the album that I don't recall the other hits off of Conspiracy of One besides Want You Bad because every time I hear it, I'm like, okay, I can just shut it off now. I'm happy.
That's again why it's like different like songs from different albums you can pull from.
Yeah. When you talk about Americana, I think you have Why Don't You Get a Job on there?
Like a Job. The Kids Are All Right.
Yes.
That's the cover of it. Yeah.
Like there's a ton on there. So like again, if you had to pick an Offspring song, I think I'd still have to go for Pretty Fly for a White Guy because I did burn that out so much as a kid.
Yes.
You know.
Same.
And you hear it live now, and
it's so fun.
It takes you back to like first of all, Dex Holland and Noodles. They have such a stage dynamic. Like, you've seen them live, so you know. But their showmanship and the things that they put out into the world when they perform together, it is you leave and you're just like, This was amazing. I love it. And I know I've seen them multiple times, so yes, it's repetitive show to show, but I never leave feeling like
Yeah.
I've done this too much.
And plus, we're gonna go see them. We're gonna be the closest you've ever been, so it's like a different experience because you're gonna be
I'm right there. I'm fully prepared
right
to
there.
get kicked in the face.
I'll
I
just
can't
throw you in
wait.
front of me. I have an ankle injury.
It's cool. I have a brain
But
injury, obviously, from doing this.
Want you bad kind of makes me feel like that again, that like teen summer movie feel of
Yes.
like just like summer crush, summer and like that, like it just gives me that feeling of like the feeling of like just that summer obsession.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I traveled for work this past week, and I was away from my family, which meant I get to watch whatever I want on TV and not have to worry about somebody bothering me. So I chose to watch all four of the original American Pies, meaning one, two, and three,
Oh,
including the wedding and then the reunion. And "Want You Bad" was the song that played over like the montage in American Pie 2, where Jason Biggs and Allison Hannigan are basically like fake dating and then
really? Okay, I
subsequently
don't
falling in love.
remember
You
that.
listen, it's fresh in my mind, and I think this is also why I love this song so much because the American Pie movies are one of my favorites, and I think they
Yes.
have the best soundtrack for the 90s to early 2000s because it did have so much
Yes.
pop punk music in it, and I
And
have
Blink
the
182
soundtrack.
was in one of the ones, right? They
Number
played
one,
the yeah.
"Go Trig Boy," "It's Your Birthday,"
Yeah,
classic
yeah, okay.
line. Like,
Yes, yes.
but yeah, so the music and like we've talked about soundtracks before and how influential they are and like do they count as the essential albums because
They
it's
do,
a
they do.
compilation, but they absolutely have to because of our generation was really shaped by movies and soundtracks because it's what we had to do. Our parents
That's how we
worked
were
and
introduced to
it
stuff
is
like we were just
how we
talking
were
about. Yeah.
introduced. So I remember hearing that song in there and that was before Americana because of the timeline. The original American Pie came out in 98. American Pie 2 I believe came out in 99. I have to double check. But I remember hearing "Want You Bad." I remember loving that song. I have a ton
Yeah.
of memories along with that song. But you talk about falling in love, you talk about being in a relationship, and that song absolutely fuels it. So
Yeah.
it goes along the lines with "First Date"
By Blink
by
182.
Blink 182. And I think those are fun summer, like, let's hang
Yeah.
out, let's listen to these songs. And it's that different section of the playlist where, like, I'm on a date,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, like, cute hand holding thing, and it's great. And whereas you have, "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" where you're just hanging out at the beach with friends singing, drinking beers, and it's all good
Yes.
and there's nothing wrong with having these different
Yes.
sections of playlists that make those pieces.
Because summer is not just always about going to Warped Tour as much as I want it to be.
It could be every summer
It
since I can
could
remember.
be.
COVID
Yes.
really ruined my life because I missed concerts so much and we couldn't go. And then it was like, okay, take the masks off. And now concerts were back up. And I swear that time of not being able to do something, even smaller little indie shows with like open mics and whatever, to now, it's revitalized this time where I'm like, oh, this person's playing. How can I figure out how to go?
Yes.
This is
And
where I'm at.
spontaneously buying tickets to things.
Life finds a way.
So someone in chat, this is actually a really okay. It's funny. Smash Mouth All Star.
Love that
So
song.
like if we're
R.I.P.
counting like the Offspring, like Smash Mouth All Star is 100% a summer song. 100% a summer song. 100% a summer song. That gives like summer hit kind of
Yes,
situation.
it does.
Like before Shrek, because now everyone sings to Shrek when they hear that. But like that song, 100% summer hit. 100%.
All day long. I had that
Yes.
album on CD and I loved it. And there was,
Yeah.
first of all, Smash Mouth is amazing. "Walking on the Sun" is another summer song.
That's another, but I feel like that's like
Yes.
a cliche. Like
I don't know if it's cliche. I would say All Star is cliche over Walking
Yeah,
on the Sun
okay.
only because of Shrek. But yes, All Star.
Walking on the Sun makes me
before
think of
Shrek.
Is it Can't Hardly Wait? Is it Can't Hardly Wait that has Walking on the Sun in it?
Yes, it does.
Yes, okay. Because I'm like, teen movies are all in my head, right?
I think we need a whole thing on teen movies now because
Oh my god,
Can't
this
Hardly Wait.
teen movie soundtrack
Yes.
episode.
Oh, Can't Hardly Wait.
If you guys want a teen movie soundtrack,
Yes.
like
drop
comment
in chat,
and
yeah.
that means we're gonna have
teen movie
but also like
rom-coms.
summer makes me think of teen movies too, because we got our teen movies in the summertime because they
Yes,
knew that we were
did.
gonna
That
be
was the
yes.
Blockbuster timeline.
Yes. Oh man.
Oh, now I'm like, well, let's start talking about teen movies.
Eve 6 was in Can't Hardly Wait too.
Oh my gosh, yes. Eve 6, I just bought their greatest hits, and I was sad because
Really?
Here's to the Night wasn't on it. But that's
Why
another
is that-
summer song that should be on the playlist.
Oh man, I love that song.
Every time I think of like the closeout of summer and like the memories we made, it is Eve 6, Here's to the Night.
Oh man, that's another good one. Okay, so you mentioned going back to Sum 41. What's Sum 41 song? do you think would be summer?
Okay. All right. First of all, I'm mad at Derek Whibley because I don't know if when the last tour will ever be the last tour, and that scares me. But when you talk about Sum 41, I love the classic In Too Deep and I love Fat Lip, but I think the Hell Song makes the summer list. I
Really?
do. Now again, I can put as many as I want on there because this thing will go real deep. No pun intended. But the Hell Song is great.
um, In Too Deep for me. It's In Too Deep. I bought that album in the summertime, and I remember saving up all my babysitter money to go and get that album. And I remember going to the music store in the mall. I don't know if you remember what that was called back in the day.
The one in the Dartmouth Mall?
Dartmouth Mall, yes.
I know that there was an FYE.
Yeah, it was before it was FYE.
Sam Goody. I'm really
I
going
think
back
believe
now,
so.
but
Strawberries was by where Spirit Halloween is
yeah,
now. Yeah.
we had a
But
lot
I
of
remember
places.
saving up all my money and going to the mall on a Friday night with all my babysitting money to go buy my Sum 41 CD.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And it was that like any albums that have singles and come out in the summertime just make me just feel summer.
100%. Yeah, Sum 41 was great. They put on a hell of a performance.
Yeah.
And then there was one song off one of their albums that they started closing out their like farewell tours with. So I've only heard it live a couple of times, and it's like Goodbye, and I
Yeah.
think it's just called Goodbye. And that's another one that I'm like, this hits the tail end of my playlist. You know, kind of goes in line with Wake Me Up When
Yeah.
September Ends, Summer's Over, sad.
So do you actually organize your playlist? Do you put on shuffle when you make a playlist, or does it depend on the playlist?
It okay. So it depends how I organize it when I make the playlist. And I can tell based on like the date and time that it gets added. When I'm in the car, I put it on shuffle. But when I'm intentionally listening, it goes on from start to finish
Okay.
because you you can't just have chaos all the time.
I have some chaos playlists,
Yes.
and then I also have like set start to finish playlists.
Okay, yes.
Because sometimes you just need chaos. You just need like happy song playlists that you know you can put on when you're in a bad mood to cheer you up. I just kind of like throw my songs that I know will be that for me.
Mhm. Yeah. So like I have playlists like every time I go to a concert, I get the set list and I put that playlist in so I can relive my concert. And then
Yes.
I have my playlist that like it's organized based on like I am happy and this is the list. And then
Yes,
I
yes.
have this is my sad playlist and this is my ramp up, this is my like emotional sobbing mess and this is my wind down. That those have to be in order. Then there's my like this is Sum 41, my chem and then shuffle like let's get into it.
Yes.
But if you were to look at my
So
Spotify, you'll see that there's like a month and a year. So it'll be like June, comma 2025, May, comma 2025. And a lot of the songs are very repetitious month to month, depending on what I've
yes.
experienced. But then there's like Pop Punk is for Summer. There's Taylor Swift Mega Mix. There's every
Do you
Yellow
have
Card
playlists for
album.
people? Like, do you have playlists for people?
Sometimes, like I have a giant.
Yes.
It started off as the Foxwoods playlist, which is what my friends and I created to go on a road trip to Foxwoods, and then it's just become the standard playlist that we always listen to. So it is a hodgepodge of nonsense. It's got like Kylie Minogue and Eminem and Smash Mouth is on there, and you know just random things. I think like Elton John's on there, Whitney Houston, but then also Sum 41. So some of them just don't make any sense, but that's okay. Like we like a little chaos. That's
So
why
I
the
usually
vinyl collections is
I
such a
don't
chaos.
I don't essentially make playlists like months like you. I'll make playlists for things, places, memories, and feelings, and people.
I dig that.
And like if I make you a playlist for you, like that makes it for like something that we think of like of us. It's something special.
Love
Like
that.
one year for like me and my husband, when we first started dating, we made each other mix CDs. So then, like for one of our anniversaries, I made a playlist for him of a mix of everything. Like for the last, like I think it was like 10 years. It was for our 10-year anniversary. I made a playlist for him, and then like I'll have a playlist for like for my dad or for like my grandmother or for like songs that I listen to with like my nieces. But this Christmas, I made my best friend a playlist that was literally like an ornament. And you scan it and you get to the playlist,
Oh, I love
and it was
that.
it was all of our songs that like make me think of her, like all the songs that we share memories with. Because to me, like music holds memory. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
And it's so chaotic, but I literally said there's no shuffle. You have to listen to it in order because there's like an intent for it when I make you a playlist. It's like you need to listen to it because it's gonna like take you back to it. And like my husband was listening to his, he's like, this is so ridiculous, but it's so good.
That's the best way to do it.
But yeah, yes, I like it's like I love making like certain playlists for certain moods and stuff.
See,
Which is
that's
why
also
like
how I miss
this
discovering new music. Is because somebody would be
yeah.
like, "I made this mix CD, like give it a listen," and I would get new
Yes.
stuff and I would get old stuff, and I'd be like, "This is so cohesive and perfect," and that's
Oh my
exactly what I
god,
need.
making like a mix CD to like road trip like 2020 like 2023 or something like whatever it
Yeah.
was and like we just throw it in and just freaking go. Like
And then cars got rid of CD players, and you're like, "Well, what do we do now?"
not the same.
It's not.
But we are going to be probably going live, I think we said, at the Offspring concert before we go in and we're
Yes.
tailgating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get to go
And
live on all the platforms because I'm not bringing the computer with me.
yes,
But
maybe like TikTok or Instagram or something. We'll do a poll on where we have more people on maybe.
yep, it'll likely
And
be
figure
TikTok.
yes. I mean we could also log in on my phone on one of them too
Oh,
and
true.
go live
Yeah.
on both. We could do that. We're gonna have two phones. But maybe we can find our little buddy on here and bring him on.
I love that. Yeah. So Danny, if you're still on with
Yes.
us, definitely message us so we can connect and would love to meet up. And that said, it has been about an hour and a half since we went live. We've discussed a ton of music. Tons of things are going to make this playlist.
Oh man, this playlist is gonna be.
I'm going to enjoy the playlist for the summer. I have one playlist that has been running for the past 3 years, and it's just called Summer Concert. So every time I go to a concert and I get the set list, they get their own playlist, but it also goes
Yeah.
into a giant shuffle mix where I'm like, this is who I've seen, this is a song I heard, play it. And that's usually what goes on rotation because I do see a lot of punk bands in the summer, but also like Air Supply's in there and Bret Michaels and
LFO Summer Girls.
LFO Summer Girls obviously makes the list, but not punk, but it's Summer Girls. You can't not listen to Summer Girls in the summertime.
How has no one done a punk cover of that song yet?
Thank
like, make it
you.
happen. Newfound
Like
Glory.
that needs to happen. Can we petition somebody to do
Newfound
Summer Girls?
Glory. Newfound Glory. Can you please do like Summer Girls,
Yes.
or even like actually, I feel like 303 would do a really good.
303 would
cover
do
of that.
amazing. I would just die happy for a Summer Girls pop punk song
Yes.
cover. That would be amazing. That said, I think we will be live next week with some album review. So please make sure you like and follow us on all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we will be ready. We will get our playlist published sometime before next week. And thank you guys so much for joining with us. It's always so fun to hear your songs and let us know if this is something you want to continue collaborating on, because it doesn't have to just be pop punk. We want to hear boy band songs too. And
Oh yeah.
maybe we'll do like a sad playlist one day. Like what maybe it'll be an emotional
Sad
dance,
emo.
like,
Sad emo summer playlist.
sad emo summer playlist. Or I'm still very interested in diving into the teen movies and the soundtracks that go
Oh
to them.
yes. Maybe that can be like our little side project.
We're gonna need some side projects for the summer.
Yes.
When
yes.
it's hot out, we're staying inside. Let's talk
Yes.
music. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening.